as the U.S. hints at stepping back from mediation. What do you think triggered this decision, and how do you expect the talks proceeding without the U.S. involvement? And what do you have on Mr. Us and that the deal stops unless talks goes on?
Well, from the U.S. perspective, it's getting the both worlds. U.S. gets to pull back diplomatically and limit the diplomatic resources it's expending on the discussion and focus its attention on the Iran negotiations and the resolution of other crises, while remaining a very active ghost partner behind the scenes, covering over every European and regional move, influencing outcomes through secondary mechanisms, including the sanctions package against Russia that is now being discussed, and applying pressure through using weapons as leverage and cash incentives rather than summit diplomacy, which was not working well for Trump. Trump had promised a quick win in putting an end to this war, and now, by the admission of many of his officials, that is not likely. Ukraine is adapting accordingly, from becoming a passive actor submitting to U.S. demands. It's mastering triangulation, positioning Ukraine between competing power centers and extracting maximum concessions from each. Russia is alarmed because it was hoping that a quick deal with the U.S. would guarantee it a lifeline, an economic lifeline primarily, because it is running out of weapons to advance. It has been stuck militarily on the ground for many months now, unable to move forward. But now it's also running out of the means to maintain even that position. Its front lines could collapse without an ability to import weapons parts and maintain economic relationships with other countries. And normalization with the U.S. and major pressure on Ukraine, positioning Ukraine to unable to advance its own weapons program, would have given Russia that lifeline. Now that seems extremely unlikely, and Russia is alarmed by the fact that the U.S. is now appearing to switch gears and using different mechanisms, and now reverting to a pressure position against the Kremlin. And that is why we are hearing these ultimatums and demands, but in reality Russia has very little leverage.
You mean here that what President Trump has said of pulling back from talks, it's just a tool to push Russia to take serious decisions? This is what you're saying here?
In part, but it's also pulling back from the very concept of summit diplomacy, because it just is not a workable mechanism right now. The two countries are too far apart from in their objectives to resolve their differences through diplomacy, or certainly through diplomacy alone. And for the United States, it's not a winning. It's not winning. It's definitely not a winning optic for Trump, who keeps walking away from the talks without achieving any major diplomatic breakthrough.
If I may go to Mr. Us before we go, do you have any last word? Because I only have 30 seconds left for me. Please. Mr. Us.
As for now, yes. So I think that U.S. received the interest, but the interest not only actually in be present in the talks, but as I said, in becoming a system of Ukraine for victory, because before that there was no response to the question why U.S. should do that.
Right.
Now we receive this response. That's the main result. Yeah, thank you.